The word blood is derived from Old English word blod, meaning blood. Blood is an important body fluid connective tissue in animals that delivers necessary substances to and from same cells. Normally, 7 to 8% of human body weight is accounted by blood. In adults, this amounts to 4.5 to 6 quarts of blood. It can be identified as the universal internal environment of the vertebrate body. It is an isotonic red viscous liquid and is heavier than water with a specific gravity of 1.05 to 1.60. Blood is highly alkaline in nature, having a pH range from 7.3 to 7.5. This essential fluid carries out the critical functions of transporting oxygen and nutrients to our cells and getting rid of carbon dioxide, ammonia and other waste products. In addition, it plays a vital role in our immune system and in maintaining a relatively constant body temperature. Blood is a highly specialized tissue composed of more than 4,000 different kinds of components. 4 of the most important ones are plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Composition of blood. The blood is a highly complex fluid which is composed of blood cells suspended in blood plasma. The plasma is the fluid component which constitutes about 55% of blood and the rest are 45% formed component containing blood cells or corpuscles. The blood is variously colored due to the different types of respiratory pigments. If the blood is allowed to settle or centrifuge after adding anticoagulant, 2 sharply contrasting layers are formed. The upper clear colorless or yellowish layer is the blood plasma and the bottom red colored part is composed of erythrocytes and thrombocytes. The leukocytes are found on the surface of the bottom layer as a thin white film. Now, let us see the details of the components of blood. Fluid component called blood plasma. It consists of blood plasma, which is the watery fluid part of the blood containing various dissolved substances. This slightly yellowish straw colored fluid forms about 55% of the total volume of blood in humans and its volume totals to 2.7 to 3 liters in an average human. It contains 90 to 92% water, 8 to 10% blood plasma, proteins and organic compounds, and trace amount of 0.9% inorganic substances. The various components include water, about 91.5% liquid portion of blood is water. It acts as a solvent and suspending medium for components of blood and helps in absorption, transportation and release of heat. Plasma protein. The total amount of plasma protein varies from 6.5 to 7.5%. There are several types of plasma proteins differing in their properties and functions. Some of them are serum albumin. It constitutes the major part of the total plasma proteins, about 4.7 to 5.7%, and are responsible for osmotic pressure and viscosity. They are smallest, most numerous blood plasma proteins and help in transporting steroid hormones, free fatty acids, bilirubin, drugs and calcium ions. serum globulin. It constitutes about 1.3 to 2.5% and are the antibodies produced by liver and plasma cells that provide immunity to various diseases and attack viruses and bacteria. Alpha, beta and gamma globulins transport iron, lipid and fat soluble vitamins. Fibrinogen. It is about 0.2 to 0.4% of the total plasma proteins and are necessary for the coagulation of the blood. They are produced by liver. They play an essential role in blood clotting. Small amounts of other proteins such as prothrombin, lipoprotein and glycoprotein are also present. All the proteins help to exert colloidal osmotic pressure, which helps maintain water balance between blood and tissues and regulates blood volume and acid base balance of the body. Organic substances. These include nutrients and catalysts. The nutrients are products of digestion such as amino acids from proteins, glucose from carbohydrates, fatty acids and glycerol from triglycerides, vitamins and minerals which pass into blood for distribution to all the body cells. The catalysts include different types of enzymes, precursors of enzymes and hormones. The enzymes are produced by body cells and catalyze chemical reactions. Hormones are produced by endocrine glands and regulate metabolism, growth and development of the individual. Vitamins are cofactors required for enzymatic reactions. Gases. Some amounts of gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen are found in the dissolved condition in plasma. Waste products. The breakdown products of protein metabolism form wastes such as urea, uric acid, creatine, creatinine and ammonia. These are carried by the plasma to the organs of excretion. Electrolytes. Inorganic salts like positively charged ions including sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium ion, magnesium ion and negatively charged ions including chloride ion, phosphate ion, sulfate ion, bicarbonate ions. The electrolytes help in maintaining osmotic pressure and plays essential roles in functions of cell. Formed components. This includes cellular corpuscles such as erythrocytes or RBC or red blood cells, leukocytes or WBC or white blood cells and thrombocytes or platelets. The total volume of the blood is termed as packed cell volume or hematocrit. Red blood cells. The RBCs are highly specialized cells. They are circular, biconcave and non-nucleated discs in mammals except camel and llama in order to accommodate maximum space for hemoglobin. It contains homogeneous protoplasm and 7 to 8 micrometer in diameter. There are about 4.8 million cells per microliter in adult females, while 5.4 million cells per microliter in males. In infants, the RBC count is about 6 to 7 million cells per microliter. The RBC count shows diurnal variation during the different hours of a day and may also be less during sleep and after meals. They also differ in the different stages of life as well as with the physiological state of the individual. The number of RBC is highest at birth and thereafter decreases. They have a lifespan of about only 120 days. They do not have mechanism for their repair and are unable to divide or multiply. As the cells grow, they change their shape and size and become more brittle. They lose their structural integrity and become flask-shaped, having some pseudopodia-like processes which gradually are broken off, and RBC cells are disintegrated to be disposed of by liver or spleen. The spleen is known as the graveyard of the RBCs. In order to keep the constant number of RBC, erythropoiesis continuously occurs in different sites in different stages of life. In early part of gestation, they are produced by the yolk sac. During 2nd to 5th month of gestation, they are produced by the liver and spleen. At later part of gestation and after birth, they are produced by the bone marrow. Vitamin B12 and folic acid stimulate erythropoiesis. Under the microscope, a single RBC seems to have a light brown or yellowish color, but in groups they appear red. The red color of the blood is due to the presence of the respiratory pigment called hemoglobin. It combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin and carry oxygen to the different parts of the body. White blood cells. The white blood cells are colorless and do not contain respiratory pigment. They are lesser in number as compared to RBCs. The average total number of WBC is 6,000 to 10,000 cells per cubic millimeter. Most of them live for few hours to a few days, while some can live for many years, like the T and B memory cells. WBCs are nucleated and larger in size and move by amoeboid movement. They are rich in nucleoprotein and contain lipids, glycogen, cholesterol, ascorbic acid and many proteolytic enzymes. WBCs are of different types. Classification of leukocytes. WBCs possess different types of morphological characteristics and staining property. They can be broadly divided into two groups: granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes. These contain different types of granules in their cytoplasm and are uninucleated. The nuclei are lobed with 2 or more lobes. They are produced in the bone marrow and are of different types, like neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. Neutrophils or polymorphs. These contain very fine cytoplasmic granules that appear pale violet with Leishman's or Giemsa stain. Neutrophils are also called polymorphonuclear cells because they have a variety of nuclear shapes. They constitute about 60 to 70% of total WBC count. Neutrophils are 10 to 12 micrometer in diameter and the nucleus has 2 to 5 lobes connected by thin strands of chromatin called polymorphs. The cell membrane is very delicate and cytoplasm has very fine pale lilac granules. The neutrophils live for 2 to 4 days. They engulf bacteria or foreign bodies by phagocytosis. They contain enzymes like phosphatase, nucleotidase, protease, amylase, lipase, lysozymes, etc., by which they digest, kill or inhibit the growth of engulfed bacteria. They are also known as scavengers of the body and help in protecting the body against infection. Eosinophils. They constitute about 2 to 4% of total WBC count. Eosinophils are 10 to 12 micrometer in diameter. The cell membrane is very delicate. These have large red orange and round shaped granules in the cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus that is generally divided into two lobes connected by thick strand of chromatin. They show amoeboid movement without phagocytic activity. They have a lifespan of 8 to 12 days. They function in the destruction of allergens and inflammatory chemicals and detoxification of toxins of protein origin. They eliminate parasites such as worms which are too big to be phagocytized. Eosinophils combat the effects of histamine in allergic reactions. Basophil. They are about 0.5 to 4% of total WBCs. Basophils are 8 to 10 micrometer in diameter. The nucleus is usually kidney shaped with two lobes. The cytoplasmic granules are large and appear deep blue purple when stained with basic dyes. They live for 12 to 15 days. They secrete histamine, which increases tissue blood flow by dilating the blood vessels, and also secrete heparin, which is an anticoagulant that promotes mobility of other WBCs by preventing clotting. They liberate heparin, histamine and serotonin in allergic reactions that intensify the overall inflammatory response. Granulocytes. These do not possess granules in their cytoplasm. They are uninucleated and without lobes. They are produced in the lymph nodes and spleen. They are of two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are about 20 to 30% of total WBCs. These are usually classified as small, medium or large. Small lymphocytes are 6 to 9 micrometer in diameter, while large lymphocytes are 10 to 14 micrometer in diameter. The nucleus is round or slightly indented and occupies the major part of the cell. The cytoplasm forms a rim around the nucleus and is homogeneous and basophilic. Medium and large lymphocytes are generally seen mainly in fibrous connective tissue and only occasionally in the circulation of bloodstream. Lymphocytes function in destroying cancer cells, cells infected by virus and foreign invading cells. In addition, they present antigens to activate other cells of the immune system. They also coordinate the action of other immune cells, secrete antibodies and serve in immune memory. Lymphocytes are of different types: T cells, B cells and natural killer cells. B cells develop into plasma cells which secrete antibodies. T cells attack invading virus, cancer cells and transplanted tissue cells. Natural killer cells attack a wide variety of infectious microbes and certain spontaneously arising tumor cells. Monocytes. Monocytes constitute about 3 to 8% of total WBCs. They are 12 to 20 micrometer in diameter. The nucleus is round or oval shaped in young stage, while as it grows it becomes kidney or horseshoe shaped. The cytoplasm is blue-gray and has foamy appearance. They are the largest of the formed elements. Their cytoplasm tends to be abundant and relatively clear. They function in differentiating into macrophages, which are large phagocytic cells and digest pathogens, dead neutrophils and the debris of dead cells. Like lymphocytes, they also present antigens to activate their immune cells. They are mobile and engulf the bacteria. It acts on the hypothalamus, causing the rise in body temperature with microbial infections and stimulates the production of some globulins by the liver. It also enhances the production of activated T lymphocytes. Platelets or thrombocytes. These are small, colorless, round or oval non-nucleated corpuscles having a diameter of 2 to 3 micrometer. The total number of platelets in human is about 2,50,000 to 5 lakhs per cubic millimeter. They are formed in the bone marrow. They live for only 2 to 3 days. They contain many vesicles but no nucleus. The most important function of the platelets is to help in blood coagulation in injury and prevent excess loss of blood. They form platelet plug in homeostasis and release chemicals that promote vascular spasm and blood clotting. Respiratory blood pigments in vertebrates and invertebrates. Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the principal determinant of the color of blood in vertebrates, where the arterial blood and capillary blood are bright red. The hemoglobin is an iron-containing protein composed of 600 amino acids with a molecular weight of 68,000. Each molecule has 2 types of globin proteins and 4 heme groups. Each heme molecule contains an atom of iron which combined with 1 molecule of oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. This oxygen imparts a strong red color to the heme group. Deoxygenated blood is a darker shade of red. This is present in veins and can be seen during blood donation and when venous blood samples are taken. There are some conditions affecting the heme groups present in the hemoglobin that can make the skin appear blue, a symptom called cyanosis. If the heme is oxidized to methemoglobin, which is more brownish and cannot transport oxygen, is formed. In the rare condition, sulfhemoglobin forms where arterial hemoglobin is partially oxygenated and appear dark red with a bluish hue. Hemocyanin. The blood of most mollusks including cephalopods and gastropods as well as some arthropods like horseshoe crabs is blue in color as it contains the copper containing protein hemocyanin at concentrations of about 50 grams per liter. Hemocyanin is colorless when deoxygenated and dark blue when oxygenated. The blood in the circulation of these creatures, which generally live in cold environments with low oxygen tensions, is grey-white to pale yellow, and it turns dark blue when exposed to the oxygen in the air, as seen when they bleed. Hemocyanin carries oxygen in extracellular fluid, which is in contrast to the intracellular oxygen transport in mammals by hemoglobin in RBCs. Chlorochromine. The blood of most annelids, worm and some marine polychaetes use chlorochromine to transport oxygen. It is green in color in dilute solutions. Hemierethrin. Hemierethrin is used for oxygen transport in the marine invertebrates like echinoderms, including siponculids, peripulids, brachiopods and the annelid worm called Magellona. Hemierethrin is violet pink when oxygenated. Hemovanadin. Blood of some species of ascidians and tunicates contain proteins called vanadins. These proteins are based on vanadium and give the creature a concentration of vanadium in their bodies 100 times higher than the surrounding seawater. Unlike hemocyanin, hemoglobin, hemovanadin is not an oxygen carrier. When exposed to oxygen, however, vanadins turn mustard yellow in color. Function of blood. Blood is the most important transport medium in the human body. Each of the different components of blood has various functions in the body, such as function of plasma. It maintains the acid-base homeostasis and viscosity of the blood. The proteins present in plasma, like globulin, is responsible for the immunity, while fibrinogen is essential for blood coagulation. It carries chemical messengers called hormones to the target organs and circulates dissolved nutrients such as glucose, amino acids and fatty acids dissolved in the blood or bound to plasma proteins. It removes waste products such as carbon dioxide, urea and lactic acid from tissues. Functions of erythrocytes. Among the functions of RBCs, some of them are: it transports gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen to the tissues and in exchange transports waste products to the eliminating organs such as lung, liver and kidney. The RBCs transports the oxygen from the alveoli to the remotest cells of the body. Because of the higher gas pressure in the plasma relative to the cells, it diffuses to the tissues. It transports hydrogen ions and maintains the pH of the blood by acting as a buffering agent. The amino acids are absorbed by the surface of the RBC and then transported to the cells of the body from the digestive organs. RBCs maintain the ionic balance of the body and viscosity of the blood. Functions of leukocytes. The WBCs can engulf and digest the foreign particles and bacteria by the process of phagocytosis. They play an important role in defense mechanism of the body by producing antibodies. These resist infectious and non-infectious agents or substances having antigenic properties. Some WBCs secrete heparin, which is necessary to prevent intravascular clotting of blood. WBCs can manufacture triphones from plasma proteins, which help to grow and repair some of the tissues. Some WBCs convert to fibroblast in inflamed area and help in repairing of the tissue. Functions of platelets. Platelets help in coagulation of blood in injury and thus prevent excessive loss of blood by forming temporary platelet plugs and secreting procoagulants to promote blood clotting and stop bleeding. Platelets also dissolve blood clots when they are no longer needed. They secrete growth factors to maintain the linings of blood vessels. They disintegrate to liberate serotonin, which causes the vasoconstriction and thus acts as hemostatic agent in vascular spasms. Platelets put out long spiny extensions to adhere to the vessel wall as well as to platelets during injury of blood vessels, which contract and draw the walls of the vessels together, forming platelet plug that can reduce or stop minor bleeding. Platelets do not usually adhere to the wall of undamaged blood vessels. Blood cells and platelets become stuck to fibrin during bleeding, and the resulting mass helps to seal the break in the blood vessel and thus help in coagulation. Thus, the overall functions of blood include thermoregulation. Blood circulation transports heat throughout the body, and adjustments to this flow are an important part of thermoregulation. The increased blood flow to the surface during warm weather or extraneous exercise causes warmer skin, resulting in faster heat loss. In contrast, when the external temperature is low, blood flow to the important organs of the body extremities and surface of the skin is reduced. This action prevents heat loss and helps in thermoregulation. Hydraulic functions. The restriction of blood flow can also be used in specialized tissues to cause engorgement, resulting in an erection of that tissue. For example, the erectile tissue in the penis and clitoris. In case of the jumping spider, the blood is forced into the legs under pressure, causing them to straighten for a powerful jump without the need for bulky muscular legs. Transportation. Blood is the primary means of transport in the body that is responsible for transporting important nutrients and materials and metabolic waste to and from the cells that make up our body. Protection. Blood protects the body from the threat of infections and disease-causing bacteria. The WBCs are responsible for safeguarding the different organs of the body by producing antibodies and proteins which are capable of fighting off and killing the germs and viruses that can cause serious damage to the body. The platelets present in blood handle the task of limiting blood loss in the wake of an injury by helping the blood to clot quickly. Regulation. Blood is also a regulator of many factors in the body. It controls the concentration of hydrogen ions in the body along with the levels of water and salt required by each cell of the body. Another regulatory task is to control the blood pressure of the body. Conclusion. Blood is a specialized body fluid composed of more than 4,000 different kinds of components. It has four main components: plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Normally, 7 to 8% of human body weight is from blood. The blood that runs through the vascular system is known as whole blood, which is a mixture of about 55% plasma and 45% blood cells. The blood has many important functions in the body, such as transporting essential substances and metabolic wastes. It helps in regulating pH and ion composition of interstitial fluids and restricting fluid loss. It defends the body against toxins and pathogens and also regulates body temperature by absorbing and redistributing heat, etc. Thus, blood is an essential component of the body which plays a vital role in maintaining good health.